global geopark network has expanded steadily to 90 members across 26 countries. As a result, the recognition of global geoparks is growing worldwide. Geoparks, however, are not just about rocks. They aim to reconnect people to the local area and to the wider environment. Geoparks highlight the links between the geological heritage and all other aspects of the area's natural and cultural heritage. They also celebrate how our planet and its 4,600 million year long history has shaped every aspect of our lives and our societies. Excavation at Kent's Cavern in Torquay revealed human occupation 500,000 years ago, as well as the oldest remains of modern man Homo sapiens in Western Europe, an internationally famous jawbone dated at 42,000 years old. Together, the three towns of Torquay, Paignton and Brixham, complemented by Babbacombe Bay and Cockington, make up a popular, diverse and lively resort that we all affectionately know as the English Riviera, which is the largest resort in the southwest. The same natural features that make Torquay such a great place to holiday today were responsible for its growth from early Middle Age settlements to Victorian grandeur to a thriving resort town. Torquay is sheltered from southwesterly winds by Berry Head, now a national nature reserve, and that meant that in the days of sail it was the best refuge in the channel, used by ships from around the world and even the occasional pirate. Torquay is also sheltered from northwesterly winds by the hilly expanse of Dartmoor, meaning we've got an exotic microclimate which makes us one of the warmest places in the UK with an enviable amount of sunshine. That led to Torquay becoming a fashionable winter resort in Victorian times and provides the perfect climate to grow the iconic palm trees which were introduced in the 1800s by plant collectors from around the world. Wherever you go, you'll find evidence of some of the greatest figures in British history in Torquay. They range from inventors and authors to historical figures who have important connections with the area. The Blue Plaque Heritage Trail, with 45 blue plaques across the English Riviera, is a great way to discover more about the history of Torquay, and you can pick up a map of locations from the visitor information centres. Famous authors include Flora Robson, author of the Lark Rise books, and Charles Kingsley, who penned The Water Babies and lived at Livermead House in Torquay. Rudyard Kipling lived at Rock House at Maidencombe in 1896, and the building is thought to have been the inspiration for his ghost story, The House Surgeon. Poet Elizabeth Barrett Browning spent time at what is now Hotel Regina in Torquay Harbourside, while Oscar Wilde wrote A Woman of No Importance while staying at Babbacombe Cliff during the winter of 1892-93. Engineer Isambard Kingdom Brunel has a long association with the area, and a sculpture commemorating his life now stands in Brunel Woods overlooking St Mary Church. Paignton was also the home of sewing machine magnate Isaac Singer at Old Bay Mansion. Even Charles Darwin spent time in Torquay convalescing. After his victory over the Spanish Armada, Sir Francis Drake held 400 prisoners in the Tithe Barn at Tor Abbey. A replica of his ship the Golden Hind has been a popular tourist attraction in Brixham Harbour since 1964. Another famous Brixham connection was Prince William of Orange, who landed in the town in 1688 at the start of the Bloodless Revolution. You can see a statue of him on the quay. Following his defeat at the Battle of Waterloo, Napoleon was brought to Torquay en route to exile on St Helena in July 1815. The distinguished prisoner was impressed with his first sight of Torquay and commented, "What a lovely country." Of course, Torquay's most famous resident was Dame Agatha Christie, the world's most famous mystery writer, who was born in Barton Road, Torquay in 1890 and bought Greenway House in Galmpton in 1938, which is now owned by the National Trust. In fact, one of the most popular days out in Torquay is to take a boat trip to Greenway down the River Dart. More recently, famous TV characters including Basil Fawlty have made Torquay very famous. Torquay originates from the Saxon hamlet of Tor. Tor means hill or craggy peak, and the monks of Tor Abbey are credited with building the first fishing quay, hence Torquay. During the 19th century, Torquay mushroomed from a small fishing village into a fashionable watering place, a Victorian term for seaside resort. This remarkable transformation began with the Napoleonic Wars, when the Channel Fleet was anchored in Torquay, and the area became popular with naval officers and their wives, and continued to develop with the coming of the railway. Elegant Victorian villas sprang up overlooking the bay, and Torquay palms were planted in large gardens. The English Riviera's reputation as an opulent resort was sealed when the future Queen Victoria visited the town. Today, Torquay is a major visitor and conference destination, offering world-class attractions, busy harbour, marina and growing international visiting port for cruise ships. Paignton appeared in the Domesday Book in 1086, but there were settlements here as far back as 700 AD. The arrival of the railway in 1859 resulted in huge growth for the town, with the extensive dunes turned into public gardens, a new pier with bandstands and a public theatre. Today, Paignton is still a very popular seaside resort, famous for its Victorian pier, world-class zoo, and the new Geopark opened very recently. You can also experience the golden age of steam, as Paignton is home to some of Britain's best-known heritage steam trains. Brixham has been a major fishing port for at least 900 years, and by 1850 the town had the largest fishery in England, with 270 vessels at sea and 1,600 seamen employed. Today life still centres around the harbour, with Brixham very much a working port. But now tourism has become just as important. Torquay has many famous historical buildings and landmarks, but the most significant is Torquay Abbey, founded in 1196. The Abbey is one of Torquay's oldest buildings, and by the end of the 15th century, it was one of the wealthiest abbeys in England, earning £1.8 million a year. That fortune enabled them to build Torquay's first real harbour. Following Henry VIII's dissolution of the monasteries, the surviving buildings were bought by the Carey family in 1662 and became a private house. Since then, Torquay Abbey has been a family home, art gallery and attraction. 8 centuries of history have been absorbed into a building which is divided into 122 rooms, rambling over 20 different levels with 265 steps. The first phase of restoration of the Abbey was completed in July 2008 at a cost of £6 million. A recent second phase, which sees the Abbey reopening in July of this year, is being funded by the National Lottery. While our heritage is extremely important to us, Torquay is also moving with the times, and Torquay Council, Torquay Development Agency and many other partners are continuing to drive the English Riviera forwards. We've completed a number of exciting projects in recent years, with many more on the horizon.